Oh my, July. Here is your energy forecast for the next few weeks. Let's say from July 12th onwards. So, you may have been enjoying the sweet spot because we've definitely been in a lovely sweet spot in the last week or two with July energies, but the real juice, the real scoop, when things really get going, will be in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We have Venus retrograding. So this is going to be the season of the X. It's the season of your personal past, the season of reflecting and reviewing and reevaluating your past relationships, not just your romantic relationships, although they certainly take center stage when Venus is retrograde. So it's often a time that you'll get a letter or you'll get a message or you get a phone call, or you might just cross paths and serendipity will have you synchronistically bump into that ex who has been hidden in the background of your heart somewhere. Maybe it's someone you've carried a torch for a lifetime, and this retrograde will be here to reconnect you with that past love, so that for some people there will be a reuniting with an ex because enough time has passed, they've done the work, they're able to see where they were wrong, they were able to grow into the person their ex needed them to be, or vice versa. For others, it will be a reevaluation, a reflecting upon personal relationships within the home, within your friends. There will be a big focus as well on self-care, on our emotional, our private emotional inner world will be certainly coming out to play, to express itself more. We have Leo energy, so there's an influence of, you may be feeling like your inner child wants more attention more than usual. You might feel that you need to shine more than usual. You also might find that it brings up and highlights your inner child's needs, where perhaps as in your childhood, in your past, you didn't feel that your emotional needs were met or maintained or even known or acknowledged. So the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will be looking at our childhood, our pasts, and the childhood wounds will certainly be coming up and out to play and to breathe and to be known and to be expressed. So I didn't come on here early. I'm not following, and I'm always saying this in my videos, I don't follow calendar time. I don't follow time in a timely fashion, okay? I follow the energy. I go where the energy flows. And I also follow divine inspiration. And I also channel on behalf of the nameless ones, the angels that I channel, when I am instructed to, when I am asked to. So I knew that you all would be grand in the beginning of July. Now, you may have noticed a lot of completions in the last 2 weeks, a lot of energy that suddenly vacuumed out, or new energy that vacuumed in. You may have noticed a change in the general running of your daily life. So perhaps in your job, a lot of staff suddenly retired or quit or left. Perhaps there was a big turnover in the factory you work in. Perhaps you're in a house share and suddenly not just one but two but three people said, listen, we're going to move out. I'm giving you my notice. So it's that kind of energy of changes, switching things up. There's a switch, okay? July is, and we're going to really see this switchy kind of energy click into place as we move through the next few weeks. But for some of you, if you haven't had those changes in your routine, changes in your schedule, changes in your rota, changes in your time and how you spend time, this is for your highest good, because your soul wants you to use time management skills. It wants you to get more bang for your buck when it comes to how are you spending the days of your life, because the days of your life add up to your life experience. You want to get the gold of life, and you want to get the riches of life, which means connection, which means deepening relationships and looking at how you can embellish your self-care and therefore filling up your own cup and overflowing that cup to others. That's what July is all about. And with this Venus retrograde, some of you may already have had an ex drop you a text to see how you are. And I think some people could be very cynical about that. And I just want to say, the people that we had relationships with, regardless of the outcome and regardless of how you feel about that person now, I think it's advisable to honor and respect the connection that once was. So you don't have to be mean if an ex reaches out to you. You don't have to be prideful or cruel about it. Sometimes people subconsciously pick up on the Venus retrograde cosmic weather and they feel a pull to check in, and you were probably somebody that this person truly loved at one time and maybe still loves. And on a soul level, they say all relationships are eternal. That when we have connected with someone on a soul level, that's forever. We may not play that out in our everyday practical lives, but the love is eternal. It's infinite and it flows and it lives on. So just being mindful about that. Now, obviously, if an ex was toxic and abusive and narcissistic and all that icky stuff, you don't want to touch that. So it is a time to be extra considerate, empathic, compassionate, but not just for the ex, but also for yourself. So remembering why that person became an ex as well. Because Venus retrograde pulls us towards feeling very deep feelings. It can be a highly sensitive time. It can be a time of emotional tides flowing in and flowing out. So working with these energies, I would suggest some practical tips would be: take it easy on your schedule. Don't overburden yourself unnecessarily. Leave space and time so that you can have those moments where the tears can flow and you're not rushing. Oh, I don't have time to cry. I don't have time to feel the sadness I'm feeling about the end of that relationship or whatever is coming up to be reviewed. So, excuse me. throat's gone a bit dry. I've been at work all day. I came home, had a quick meal, and I'm here on with you guys. So my throat's a little bit when you're teaching, your throat chakra really gets beautifully expanded, but it can get tired as well. So give yourself space, give yourself time to digest whatever is coming up, because there's something about this retrograde that by the end, I'm told, I don't know exactly the retrograde ends, perhaps Marty, Horus, Eye of Horus, Horus Horology, that's Marty's channel. You could put the dates for the Venus retrograde below if you see this, that'd be great. But I'm getting October. There's something about from now till October that's pivotal, that's important, that is a completion of some kind. There's something, I'm thinking of the World card in Tarot. And the World card is a circle. It's like the cosmic egg, and there's a person in the middle, and it's the end of the major arcana. So it's the end of a journey. Okay, I'm just channeling all this now. It's the end of a journey for some of you, for most of you in some shape or form. For some of you, it's the end of a really, really big journey. A journey that has brought you to your knees and back, has penetrated deep into your heart, and has made you question everything, has made you question life, has made you question your intuition, your gut instincts, your angels, everything. Whatever this relationship was for you, it was life transforming in the most profound way. You will be looking, feeling, exploring that, and taking that journey to either its next chapter, and that will be up to you with your free choice, or its final chapter. I'm really feeling the emotions around that. So there'll also be a focus on home, you might be decorating, painting, you might be moving, but you might just feel the need to go into your wardrobe and go, I just need to start over. I need a clean, fresh palette. Or you might just look at the rooms in your home and say, this just isn't me anymore. These colors, this carpet, this lighting is too harsh for me. I'm a sensitive, right? I want soft lighting. Really, making the home or making your space more comfortable and more reflective of the new you. Now, what I will say about Venus retrograde is be careful around, it's not the best time to start brand new things. Like, astrologers do not recommend that we begin a new romantic relationship during a Venus retrograde. It's not recommended that you purchase a brand new home. Now, obviously, use common sense. There's going to be times where if you're fleeing from somewhere and you need to buy a new home and an amazing opportunity comes up to buy a new home, for God's sake, buy the home, okay? Don't be like, well, I can't because it's Venus retrograde. Don't be one of those people. That's just silly. Don't be silly with anything in life. Don't be silly with spirituality. Don't be silly with science. Don't be silly with astrology. Work with the energies. And there's times in life we don't have the luxury to work with the energies. And that's okay too. There's something to be learned in everything. You will push through that and you'll figure it out. But if you have the luxury of postponing the purchase of that new home after September, October, I would, with the current energy flow, I would gently suggest that. It is a time where people do often reunite with an ex that they're meant to be with. So twin flames often reunite, soulmates come back together. It is a lovely time of partnerships that have drifted apart, who've done the inner work and who've done the healing and really examined their motives, their agendas, their childhood wounds, done the inner child therapy. They'll often be magnetized back together during a Venus retrograde. So it's not this bad, gloomy time. Don't be afraid of retrogrades. It simply means we're being given extra time and space to slow down so that we can examine and take a good, honest look deep inside ourselves. And that's another thing I will say, slow down. Allow especially the next 2 weeks in July, or 3 weeks really. You're probably already feeling this. You're probably feeling you need to nap more, you need to rest more, you need to chill and meditate and just take a breath more than usual. That's the Venus retrograde asking you to make time, to slow down time, so that you can actually check in with your heart and check in with your soul and see that, yeah, I'm on the right path. You know, this is the right direction for me. Or maybe not. Maybe you need to pick up the phone and make a phone call, or maybe you need to plan ahead for those necessary changes. So we also have, as far as I'm aware, Chiron, who's the wounded healer. It's called Chiron the Wounded Healer, is retrograding as well the end of July. I think it's July 23rd. You can correct me in the comments if that's wrong. So that's gonna be that's a lot, you know, and this Venus retrograde is much longer than usual as far as I'm aware. So we obviously have a lot to feel, to neutralize and to heal during this Venus retrograde, because the universe is giving us extra time, extra downtime. Also, it's to be noted, Venus retrograde is not a good time to do beauty treatments. It's not a good time to drastically change your appearance. So cosmetic surgery, definitely not during a Venus retrograde. Drastic color change of your hair, like if you're just going to decide to go, you know, a beautiful bright copper red and you've never done that before, really not advisable. Because Venus is the planet of beauty and love and all these gorgeous, beautiful, luxurious things. So all cosmetic enhancements, anything that's deeper than just maintenance. Like, it's okay to get a trim, it's okay. And again, don't be silly with these things. Look, if you want to go out and dye your hair black tomorrow and you're a blonde, who am I to tell you not to? I'm just giving you some nice soft cushioning for the next few weeks, because I do feel, and I feel it in my bones, I hear it from the angels, we are going into a very sensitive emotional time. It's not necessary, it's not a bad time. I don't have any bad vibes about this Venus retrograde. The Chiron retrograding, I think, is going to be very cleansing. I think it's going to be very therapeutic on a soul, cellular, spiritual level. We'll talk about that in another video. But just to really mind yourself, you may need to increase your energy intake, like food, more sleep than usual, like lots of hot crystal baths. Maybe go and see your healer for more energy, hands-on treatments, more angel healing than usual. You will need extra care because it's a careful time. It's a time to be careful. Now, with regards to those of you who are beginning new relationships, you don't have to, screech a halt on the brakes and you met this lovely person just recently. You don't have to totally ignore them for the next few months. But it's just a time, because the energy is a bit foggy around love and beauty and connection and home and family and all these things that Venus is connected to. Hence why it's suggested not to have any injections in your face and drastic hair changes and boob jobs and things like that around Venus retrograde, because it's a foggy time. It's the same with dating, it's the same with our relationships. Just be mindful of impulses or sudden urges or getting too nostalgic, pull down the rabbit hole into obsessing about an ex where it's becoming unhealthy. And again, self-care includes going to talk to a healer, go and see a shaman, sit with a counsellor, sit with one of your close dear friends, or maybe you have a wonderful aunt who's just full of wisdom. I have a great aunt who, when I talk to her on the phone, she's just full of gems of wisdom and she's so loving and kind. So those things are really, I think, really advisable and good guidance to take part in, especially over the next 3 weeks. I feel like I have so much more to say, because as I start the information, and I didn't prepare this video, as always. I'm often as surprised as you as what comes out of my mouth. So I will do some more videos on this, because I do feel this is a pivotal time. I feel like there's something about slowing down enough and having enough patience. There's something about need for patience as well at this time. So I'm going to stop the video here, but I'm going to do another video with some of these Heal Yourself. I got these new cards, Heal Yourself reading cards. The artwork is just absolutely beautiful in these. So I will do some of that. So sending you blessings, July blessings, and I'd love to hear in the comments how you felt this month has been so far and what you feel is coming up for you in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Namaste.